Welcome back, everybody. This is Political Hot Seat. I'm here with candidate Judge Robert Lane, who is the judge at the time. But anyway, before the break, we had a lady named Amy call in and give an answer to the trivia. I was overruled by Judge Lane. And Amy, if you would call back and tell the engineer your phone number so tomorrow I could get the gift certificate made out for you by noon at the Red Sky Barbecue. He says you were right. So anyway, we will.
Well, that's not quite what I said. I overruled you and said she knew what year I ran for election, so she was paying attention, and she did the math. 14 years.
Yeah.
I was a deputy DA in 1993. I was hired in Tonopah. I worked 7 years as a deputy DA, and then in November of 2000, I ran for election.
Right.
And I won the election in November, and then January 1st of 2001 is when I became judge, and so it's been about 14 years now. This November it'll be the 14-year anniversary of when I was elected judge.
Okay, well, I just hope Amy's still watching so she can call back and tell our engineer what her phone number is. And so anyway, you will have after 12 o'clock tomorrow because they don't open until 11. But anyway.
Congratulations, Amy.
Back to that, you were a deputy DA.
Yes, sir.
And you decided to run for judge. Is that where you ran? Was out of Tonopah, or were you in Pahrump at the time?
I was living in Tonopah at the time with the family. The kids were all newborns. Spencer, my youngest, was born 3 days after I was elected judge. And I don't know if you remember back then, but in those days, those old timers and stuff, but that's shortly after that is when my 3 kids got that deadly form of E. coli, and they were all in the hospital and almost died and so forth. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, that was about 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Wow.
Seems like just yesterday the kids were born and running around as toddlers, and now they're all heading out of the
Now they're all growing up. Now they're, see you later, Dad.
Yeah.
Got important things to do.
I went to high school in Henderson, basic high school. Then I went in the Navy for 6.5 years. I was on board submarines. I was an electrician's mate on the submarine out of Pearl Harbor, and we did a Westpac to Japan and Korea and the Philippines, places like that. And then I was isolated duty up in Newfoundland, Canada. And then I went on a mission for my church for a couple of years. And then I came home. I tried to start a business in LA involving putting all the stores on a computer, but I couldn't get anybody to finance the business, me and a computer expert guy. It was like Amazon. If people had given us the $30,000 or $40,000 we needed to start up, I'd be talking to you from my yacht in the Mediterranean right now. But we didn't get it started. So when I was 28 years old, I was living in the back of a carpet store and driving an old beat-up pickup truck, and I didn't have a college education. I didn't have any savings, and for some reason, no girls were interested in marrying me, and so I decided I would head off to college. I went to UNLV, where I graduated in 2 years with honors while working full-time for a U.S. Senator. I was also chairman of the Elections Board and the Clark County political party and different things, so I was real busy. And then when I graduated UNLV, I went to law school, and I overloaded all my credits there each semester also, and I tutored constitutional law and worked as a clerk, and I graduated in 2.5 years from law school. I passed the bar at the end of my 2nd year of law school, so when I went back to law school, I had already passed the bar, and I was one of the few people in the nation who did that. And then after I graduated law school, came home, my wife and I came home to Nevada, and we had our first child, and I applied for the deputy DA position in Tonopah and got hired by the DA at the time was Art Wehrmeister. And I did that for 7 years. I was out of law school 1 year when I prosecuted my first murder trial by myself. And then when they opened up the new courthouse down in Pahrump and they said we're going to hire a new judge for it, I went around to all the old timers that I respected. You going to run? You going to run? Because I think I'd make a really good judge. And they all said, go for it, Robert. And I went for it and won the election. And 14 years later, here I am.
You're still here.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like you worked for it, you worked your way up, and you got what your goal was, obviously. So that's
So I got a good community, good family, good job. I've really been blessed. Life's been great for me.
Yeah, well, that's about all any person could ask for.
Yeah, I'm a
And
lucky
well,
man.
then to see your grandchildren and to see your children grow up.
Well, let's slow down now. My daughter's only 18. She's heading off to college. No hurry on the grandkids.
Well, it's going to happen
Yeah, probably.
someday. They don't necessarily always have to be the daughter.
Well, my boy's on a mission, but he'll be coming home in February.
Where's
I look
he
forward
going
to that. In London, England. He's on his mission.
And when he brings home that girl from England and says, Dad, I want you to meet.
I sure would like to go over and meet him and bring him home so I could see England. I've never been over to Europe before, so that'd be nice.
Oh, well, London especially. I mean, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't ride no buses, but anyway.
In the last 21 years, 7 as a DA and 14 as a judge, I've had 3 weeks of vacation.
Wow, what'd you do with all that time?
I'm a hard worker. I go into work every morning. I go in about 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and I work through lunch. We get all our orders out within a day or two. We're very fast, very, very thorough, and never been sick, never been late, never missed court. Just get everything done, do the job. I guess I learned that in the Navy, to be punctual and get things done, and it's a good habit to have.
Well, yeah, we only wish there was a lot more people like that. Because
Yeah, well, my
a lot
boy,
of people
my
have-
youngest boy, he's working to be an Eagle Scout. So with a little luck, he'll learn those same lessons.
Were you in the Scouts?
I was not. I came from a poor family of. I hardly ever saw my parents, and most of my family, you know, they got kind of wild. And for some reason, I decided I was going to be a good boy and do what's right. So I was kind of a Boy Scout, even though I never went to Scouts.
All right, well, I got another trivia question. This will be the second one. This one here, maybe some of the women will get this right. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of a hard one. This one here is, anybody pays attention to the Oscars? You ever watch the Oscars? You know, that's Academy Award type thing, you know?
Not really.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
But take a guess on who individual has won the most Oscars since they've had them. An individual that's been involved in television, movies, and all that stuff, but the person, not the best movies and all that, but the person involved that's won the most Oscars over the years during the Academy Awards. And the reason I made this one a little bit harder is because last week I had 3 of them, and the people answered them, boom, boom, boom.
That's a good question. I'm sure people are hitting Google right now trying to find out.
They probably won't believe it, but you know, we'll wait and see if anybody comes up. Remember, it's 727-8750. You call up and ask Judge Lane any questions that he's able to answer on TV.
Don't ask me why we don't have a movie theater here in Pahrump, because I don't know. I wish we did.
Everybody asks us that question. And you know, the thing is, though, is that is kind of a shame that we don't. I mean, you know.
You know, I travel around the state to CLEs and to do court, and there's a lot of communities a lot smaller than us that have beautiful community centers and indoor pools and movie theaters, and they're a lot smaller than we are.
Right.
I don't know how that works, how that happens.
Yeah.
Because of that personal experience I've had with the drug court and with family members of mine that were addicts and so forth, I would tend to say, you know, why twist the devil's nose? Why make something legal that might have bad ramifications for our society in the future? But like I said, I tend to be libertarian, and I respect the wisdom of the people. And if our community wants to have legalized prostitution, legalized marijuana, or anything else of that nature, then I would, because I tend to be libertarian conservative, I'd support it. But my own personal view is, let's not pinch the devil's nose. Let's just try and keep everybody clean. Drug court's been really hard over the years, trying to get guys clean from. We've had guys addicted to pot, and then their lives are pretty bad, and so we've tried to get them clean and help them get straightened out.
All right. Well, we'll come back to that right after this message, and we'll be back
Probably
in a
not
few
a good
minutes.
answer, sorry, but kind of wishy-washy, I guess.
All right. We need to go to these messages now.